New Orleans, Philly again. So that's five highly losable games, right? Maybe you would say Washington's kind of 50-50, right?
Especially with the offensive line.
Okay, but the point is, as a fan, I am now thrust in the position of having to root against my team for the next 5 games because I still believe, I said it yesterday and I believe it with all my heart and soul, if this team loses 5 in a row more to fall to 3-10, even Jerry would get shamed into doing something. And I think Jason would have to go at that point. I'm predicting that if they lose the next 5 on that Monday morning following, that he will let Jason go. That's okay. And I need it. I need something to force Jerry's hand beyond Jason figuring out how to win another couple of games. It just doesn't get you anywhere. It's over.
Skip, you said Jason Garrett doesn't move you to climb a wall or to run through a brick wall for him. How did Chan Gailey?
He does move me to climb walls. I climb my living room.
But good wall. What about Chan Gailey? Was he inspiring?
Nope.
What about Dave Campo?
He was a great puppet.
What about Dave Campo?
I knew Dave Campo very well. Ultimate puppet.
Wade?
Wade's not a puppet to me. I think Wade's his own man more than you think. I mean, you know him.
I know Wade.
And I knew his father very well. These are their own people.
But Wade is not a fire and brimstone guy. What about Barry Switzer? No.
Hey.
He couldn't know. Oklahoma Barry Switzer might have been fire and brimstone and get you going.
The problem was he's like Jerry's best friend in the world and drinking buddy. Okay. So you got issues going on there.
Okay.
Deep issues.
What about Jimmy? Could Jimmy get him going? What about Coach Parcells? You watch NFL films and they say how he get him going. Jerry doesn't want that skill.
Hey. Now, I covered the Jimmy teams. Jimmy inspired more fear than any coach I've ever been around. When Jimmy, during the lunch hour, when it's the media availability, if he ever happened to just walk through the locker room, every player looks sideways like, what are we just, is somebody going to get whacked? You know, is
carry the stick.
Okay.
Both will get the results that you need.
Right. So would Jimmy stand up to Jerry? You better believe he would. Were they still a good sort of Lennon-McCartney kind of mix? Yeah, they were. Because, listen, I always give Jerry some credit. He picked some of those players and he swung some of the deals for Charles Haley and Deion Sanders that put them over the top a couple of times. So I give him some credit. But obviously, Jimmy wanted to give him 0 credit, and Jerry wanted to give
50% of the credit.
Yeah, right. Jerry wanted 50%, and he was willing to give Jimmy 50%, but only 50%.
But here's the thing, as Jason, Skip, and I'm going to say this in Jason. How do I coach if I make a decision and then you turn around in the media after the game and then question the decision in which I made?
True. It's the worst, and I agree with you. The number one issue that you brought up first is the post-game press conference by the owner that comes across with the media like the ultimate decree. What just happened? Well, we don't care what Jason says. We only care what he says.
Thank you.
Okay, so now you're the effective head
coach,
right?
Yeah, the coach speaks to the media first.
That's correct. And everybody hangs on every word from Jerry after the game.
Yes.
Okay? That's no good.
No.
So if Troy wants Jerry to step back, that's the first way to step back is just quit doing that. You can do your radio show on Monday if you want to. That's fine. Tuesday?
It's Tuesday, yeah.
Okay, yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, he's not going to do that, Skip. You know that. You know, like I said, you spend hundreds and hundreds of hours with him writing books. You know him better than anything. You know he's not stepping back. You know that.
Yeah. Why did he buy the Dallas Cowboys in 1989? Because he had made millions, which at that point felt like billions of dollars in the oil field striking rich. He'd also lost his shirt a couple times. But he had made so much money in the oil field that he told me, I'm just bored. I don't know what to do with my money anymore.
And there's a lot of people that makes billions of dollars, Skip, they want sports franchise team. Because if you were to see, if you were to see like Bill Gates or some of these guys, the average person probably wouldn't know what they are. But you buy a sports franchise, that's a whole different ball game, Skip.
Yep.
Oh, you are.
So Jerry is who he is, Skip. Jerry's not going to change. So I know Troy. I mean, for Troy to do this, not a whole lot of former players, especially of his ilk, will say that. Because like you said, he lives in that city.
Yeah.
But he carries credibility, Skip Bayless.
He carries huge credibility. He also knows that about 2/3 of Cowboy Nation will be on his side with these remarks.
They know it. But Skip, they know Troy is telling the truth, but they love the Cowboys so much.
Yep.
That, so be it. We just grit it and bear it.
Well,
now your team, though.
I am rooting for 5 straight.
No, Skip, don't do that.
I got it.
Skip.
And you know what? I'm going to predict right now they're going to lose 5 straight. I predict.
Skip, we don't do that.
I do.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't
worried about you.
We don't root for the firing or the hiring of
Yes,
someone.
we do.
No, we don't.
We do.
No.
This is a first for you,
I
though?
like Jason. Jason was very nice to me. I saw him in New York, met him a couple of times. He's very nice to me.
I covered him. He's great. He's smart. He's very personable one-on-one. Not so much in front of the team, but
yeah. And I got on the bus, the Cowboy Cruiser, a couple years ago.
Had a little drink or two.
Yeah.
They don't serve Hennessy on that bus.
No,
they go up.
Gin,
they
had
go
the good
up.
stuff.
Yeah, they got the hard stuff.
Does it always end there for you? Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't go party. I had to go have some other arrangements I had to make.
Other arrangements.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of
not even.
more losses, will the Lakers pick up another hot L at Shannon's restaurant tonight? Timberwolves in town. We'll discuss next.
Dubs.
We're the volunteers, the engineers, those inspired by the cheers. We're curators preserving the game's greatest achievements, innovators researching the latest advancements. We care about the tees, the greens, and everything in between. And with the R&A, we're modernizing. Golf rules. We're the USGA, and we're golfers too. There's a lot to love about golf, and the greatness of the game brings out the best in all of us. Yeah! Sir, your order? It feels like a big win when you get a deal like this. Introducing the new $6 classic meal deal. With a meal with one of these favorites for just $6.
This is an ordinary hot dog, and this is a hot dog obtained using Exxon and Mobil Rewards Plus points. Which do you like better? This one. Confirm. Exxon and Mobil Rewards Plus points taste better than ordinary hot dogs. Start earning today at ExxonMobilRewardsPlus.com.
What if numbers tell only half the story? At T. Rowe Price, hundreds of our experts go beyond the numbers to examine investment opportunities firsthand. Like a biotech firm that engineers a patient's own cells to fight cancer. This is strategic investing. Because your investments deserve the full story. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
You let a wall like that intimidate you. Or see the welcoming bourbon in front of you. It's your call.
Jim Beam on the rocks.
Make it two. The bourbon that's been making history since 1795 invites you to make some of your own.
This is how you make hosting the whole family a piece of cake. You do it all in one load, with a few additions.
In over 4,200 hotels worldwide. And get double rewards points on every stay. Book now at Southwestern.com.
At the Joseph A. Bank Veterans Day sale, save up to 60% store-wide. All executive suits, just $199. Our best-selling traveler dress shirts, $39. Plus, take an extra 50% off all clearance. From stitch to store, that's the bank way.
Whatever
Whatever your big job is, come into the Ram Black Friday sales event and get a great deal on the truck with the best resale value in the industry. And find out for yourself why more people are switching to Ram trucks than ever before. Because of all the things you've built this year, some are sweeter than others. Great deals going on all month at the Ram Black Friday sales event.
Now get 1,000 Black Friday bonus cash for an average $10,000 in total values on the all-new 2019 Ram 1500.
With the Capital One Venture.
post-ups. You know that, and I know that.
Yeah, but where they're shooting outside of the paint, the 3-point. Okay, you look. What about defensive rating? Where do they rank? Where the Lakers rank defensively?
Just, well, they're 28th in points allowed. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, Skip, there's only 30 teams.
I know. Okay. All right. I agree with you.
And then how about turnovers?
And by the way, you brought up Tyson Chandler, and in this case, this is why Luke Seed is going to get hotter for the wrong reason, like unfairly hot, because most people think Tyson Chandler is still Tyson Chandler. I'm just not sure he is, and I love Tyson. He's one of the great human beings who's ever played pro basketball.
But he gives a rebounding skill because.
Okay, well, I hope so, because you know what he ranks in defensive win shares? 386. That's got to be like right at the bottom.
Yeah,
and guess how many shots he's blocked so far this year? One.
He's not a shot blocker. Okay. But I tell you what, he'll alter shots.
He will.
And 13 minutes a game, averaging 5 rebounds a game. We can use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can use that.
So JaVale still leads the league in block shots.
Expert. This is a
block shots for the year, but in defensive win shares individually, he ranks 112, and he is the best Laker. So that just gives you a read on how bad this team is defensively. So they just got to outscore you. So could they score 70 in the first? Yeah, sure they could.
JaVale is a help defender. He's not a on-ball defender. So
and he does the equivalent of chase down blocks in the lane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Swoops.
And there's gonna be a lot of them. Because ain't nobody guarding the man on the ball.
Yeah.
Because everybody getting to the paint. So JaVale is the last line of defense, and he's blocking shots, so he's altering shots. So that's the best we can hope for. But we can play better D than what we've been playing.
Yeah. Every once in a while, they lock up and lock down.
Yeah,
well,
you saw LeBron what he did to Nurkic.
Nurkic.
Just like what he did.
Nurkic is dead. He's dead to me.
You remember what he did to Splitter? In game 2 when Splitter tried to dunk on him? You remember that?
Are you going to take credit for that?
Oh, Tiago.
Are you going to brag about that?
Tiago.
Listen, I can get higher up off the floor than Tiago.
He was never the same.
Seriously.
You remember?
I can get my feet higher off the floor.
After LeBron blocked that shot, he was never the same, Skip. They ended up shipping him to Atlanta, and now he's
out.
Probably
that was
Brazil.
it? That changed him?
LeBron has done that to a lot of folks, Skip.
Tiago Splitter's got rings.
He got a ring.
Well, that's more than you have.
No, I got rings.
You don't have NBA rings.
If I'd have been an NBA player, I would have.
You think so?
Yeah.
Everywhere you went, good things happen.
That's right.
Right?
That's
you
right.
just take over the locker room and lead them to the promised land.
Yep.
Any sport.
You know what? Magic should maybe bring you in.
Nah, I can't lead you, Skip. I couldn't lead you. I couldn't.
You could do both.
I couldn't respect myself if I were to lead.
Yeah. We need to hear. Okay, moving on. Next up, the Patriots had a big 31-17 win Sunday night against the Packers. Aaron Rodgers threw 2 touchdown passes in the game, but he also had 19 incompletions. Inside the NFL posted a clip of Bill Belichick mic'd up during the game, talking to his defense about Rodgers. Let's hear it.
The pass rush is what we want. We just got to keep doing it. Hey, we got to keep doing it for 60 minutes. The pass rush is what we want, all right? Keep working out of those guards. Keep in the pocket. He's trying to throw us 2 interceptions now. We're going to get one, all right? He's just lobbing it up there. That's a great job. Keep pressing him. If he runs backwards, all right, then run him out of bounds. That's great.
Skip, what did that clip tell you?
I'm afraid my man Shannon Sharp isn't going to respect me after this opinion, but to me, that was shocking on 2 levels. Number one, I rarely hear Bill Belichick get caught on tape on sideline microphones. He just sort of avoids it. You just don't hear it very often. That was maybe not a first, but it's been a long while since I heard that. And number 2, I was shocked that he would speak so negatively about a great quarterback that he praised so effusively, so profusely ahead of the football game. So to me, Bill Belichick was saying that Aaron Rodgers will get gun-shy and careless if you just keep him in the pocket and keep turning up the heat on him. And Belichick is saying that he already was getting panicky because he had already tried to throw them 2 interceptions by, to quote Belichick, lobbing it up there. Lobbing it up there? Aaron Rodgers just sort of flicking it out of the pocket when he felt the heat start to get to him. I don't know if he's suggesting Aaron is starting to lose his nerve after he's been hit too much. Well, I don't know. Maybe. So maybe Belichick was just trying to reignite his pass rushers, but I think he revealed more of his true view of an Aaron Rodgers for whom he doesn't have that much respect. not ultimate respect, or he wouldn't have gone there. And I'm here to suggest that no other head coach in this league would ever be caught on microphone saying that about Tom Brady during the game. I just don't think you'd ever hear that about Brady because they'd just be too afraid of him. You just don't speak that way about Tom Brady.
But Aaron Rodgers doesn't know he's saying that. He knows it just like we're knowing it right now.
Well, but I think you heard the truth. I think you heard effectively behind closed doors that got out into the public.
Skip, if you don't mind me asking, what's he supposed to tell his team? That's a great guy over there. We got no chance?
No, but you just don't. You don't have to be dismissive and disrespectful of Aaron Rodgers as you try to inspire your passer.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
You'd be the other way around. You'd be saying he's going to riddle us. He's going to pick us to pieces if you guys don't get there. That's what I would say.
I don't plant negative. You don't plant negative seeds in your player's mind. Skip, you keep talking about, he's dismissive and Aaron Rodgers. If you look at the playoff games that Tom Brady has lost, Giants in the Super Bowl, what did they do? They beat him up. He lost those 2 AFC championship games in Denver. What did they do? They beat him up. They beat him up so bad they went and got Dante Scarnecchia, the offensive line coach, out of retirement. Did they not, Skip Bayless?
Did he ever look gun-shy to you in the pocket?
Skip, yes.
Did he ever seem to crumble to you? Did he ever seem to lose his nerve?
Skip, Aaron Rodgers didn't lose his nerve.
Did he ever start to lob it up for the defense to pick it off?
That's Belichick's assessment. That's his assessment.
I think it was true view. I do. I don't think he would have said that.
I believe you will say, Skip, if you would have heard some of the things that our coaches told us, and we're playing some of the all-time great defenders, what we're saying, what the coach is telling us, because you can't look at him as Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT, when you're going up against him. You can't look at a Reggie White. You can't look at a Deion Sanders as these mythical players when you're playing against them. You got to look at them as ordinary guys and say, this is what we got to do.
I know, but you can't convince your pass rushers with pure hyperbole. You can't just make it up and say, oh, he's crumbling. He's lobbing it up there. They're not going to buy it.
Yeah, they will.
Unless they think there's some truth to what you're saying.
Guess what? When we played in the Super Bowl 32, we're going against Brett Favre. Brett Favre's the MVP. They say you can't blitz Brett Favre. Greg Robinson said, the hell you can't. He's telling his guys on the sideline, he's going to throw us interception, guys. Just make sure we hold on to it.
Hey, I've told you this before. I was around a bunch of Cowboy teams that played Brett in the postseason, and that was the mantra going in.
Yes.
He will throw you 3, but you have to be ready to catch them because they're going to come 100 miles an hour, and you're usually not ready for it to be off target and hit you in the hands.
Right.
But if you can catch them, we'll win the game.
And that's what. Look, I tell you what. You give me any quarterback. You take any quarterback, any generation. Give me a great pass rush, and I'll beat you.
Yeah, but some will stand in and take it right in the mouth.
I want them to.
And some will keep firing.
But eventually, I'll make them flinch. When I can't play with these rules, Skip. I got to play with the old school rules because I got to make him flinch. I got to be able to put the helmet.
No, I got it.
Look at how did the Giants beat Joe Montana? That ferocious pass rush.
Well, they didn't beat him. They sent him to the hospital.
Exactly.
They literally sent him to the hospital. So if you can do that, God bless.
Right. And the Broncos, when they beat the Patriots in those championship games, D. Ware, Malik Jackson, Wolf, Vaughn, 4 men.
Okay, but the one you're talking about, the AFC Championship game at Denver, Brady is still throwing into the end zone to win the game at the end. So it's not like he just crumbled under your pressure, right?
Here's the thing, though. At that point in the game, Denver has to look. If they don't get a scoop and score or a pick 6, so now they're just like, okay, we run the ball, just run time off.
Okay.
But the 2 years before that, when they got beat by Seattle, you saw that pressure was relentless.
Okay, I agree, but do I think Cam Newton is gun shy? I do. I definitely do not. And what happened in the Super Bowl to Cam Newton against that Denver pass rush? It was relentless, and he just got destroyed.
Yeah, but Skip, but here's the thing now, they changed the rules because you remember opening day Thursday night, what Broncos were doing to Cam, that was illegal. If the Broncos were to if you were to hit Tom Brady, like they hit Cam in the Super Bowl, Skip, you know that.
Like, what's the name? Darren Stewart?
Yes.
He was just like a kamikaze, just flying around, just
Brandon Marshall hit him in the helmet. So if you were to hit Tom Brady, like they hit Cam in the Super Bowl, Skip, how many penalties do you think they're going to throw?
Now?
Exactly. So I get what Coach Belichick is doing because when you're playing these guys, Skip, you got to convince your guys he's a normal guy. You can't make him bigger than what he already is. But they know what they're up against. They know they got their hands full. And he's saying, you're doing a great job. Hey, work that guard inside. curse. They bleep that out. Work that guard inside because what you want to do, Skip, you want to push him to the side and then chase him out of bounds. You don't want him to step up in the pocket. So Coach Belichick was doing what most great coaches do, is that they convince their players that you're doing an excellent job. And they work.
At the expense of a guy you called.
I don't care about his expense. I'm worried about my team. I don't care about your feelings over there. Coach Belichick don't care about your feelings.
Do you think other head coaches are saying that about Tom Brady?
Yeah.
That he's basically getting scared and he's going to lob it up to us and he's already tried to throw us 2 interceptions? I don't think anybody's ever said that during a game about Tom Brady. Ever.
No. We just happen to hear because he's mic'd up.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, off microphone, I don't think anybody's ever said that.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, they've said worse.
No,
They've said worse.
So.
I'm telling you, Skip.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
They might say he's corny. They might say he's cliche. They don't say he's afraid.
He gets scared.
Nobody says he's afraid.
He gets scared.
Yeah.
When they started putting them Rydales on him.
Yeah. He got so scared against the Giants in the first Eli Super Bowl that he drove his team 80 yards and hit Randy Moss with what should have been the winning touchdown pass with 2 minutes left.
I'm trying to figure out, Skip, why
did he crumble under the...
Jen, I'm trying to understand a team that averaged 36 points a game, why they only got 14.
The Giants are really good.
Because Strahan and Olsen and Tuck and the other big dude, they were coming.
You and Europe?
Yeah, they were coming.
Yeah.
Conte. I think the Kansas.
You're doing that.
Yeah. They were coming.
Yeah.
4-man pressure.
I mean, that's one of the great pass rushes in the history of football.
They got to shut it down. In the Giants, when you get to Montana, when you have LT
and the final score of that game should have been 14-10 New England. You know
why
it.
you only get whoa. You mean to tell Coach Belichick got to hold somebody to 10 points in the Super Bowl in order for you to win a game? When you average 36?
What happened in the final regular season game at the Giants? What happened? It went right to the wire.
Yeah.
You don't think the Giants were inspired by that?
So you scored, so let me get this straight. You scored, 35-42 in the last preseason, in the regular season game, and you can only get me 14 4 weeks later? What's going on, Skip?
It was inspired. It was an all-time great effort, and it should have been for a big L.
And that's
you say a big hot L.
And that's what Coach Coughlin did. He was inspired of, guys, we're doing great. We're getting to him.
Did Coach Coughlin draw up the final big pass play from Eli to helmet catch? Did he say, Eli, I want you to escape 5 Patriots and run circles in the backfield, and finally just close your eyes and actually put your hand over your eyes and throw it as far down the middle of the field into trouble as you can, and hope that David Tyree sticks it in his face mask.
Eli saw it.
He did not see anything but Patriot jerseys. He just threw it as far as
he could. And he shook them off. And he shook them off. They had to be like just shaking them off.
Shaking them off.
No, he's like Taylor Swift song, shake them off.
Yeah, and he's one of the most mobile quarterbacks we've ever seen, right?
Well,
no.
He's more mobile than somebody else we know.
Who?
You know who.
I
the
don't
guy he
know.
was playing against.
Oh, Tom Brady?
Yeah.
That's true. I'll give you that one. But Tom Brady doesn't need mobility.
Eli doesn't either.
Well, he did on that play.
Eli, hold on, Jenny. This is the way Skip Bayless tell me.
Okay.
If you're the GOAT, I beat you twice. Head to head. Because Skip Bayless tells me the quarterbacks are playing each other. So I'm going to stick to that theory. If I beat you twice and you the GOAT, how come I'm not the GOAT?
Because you lucked into the first one.
Don't do that. Don't do me
I'll
like
give
this.
you the second one. You beat him the second
You beat him the first one, too.
No.
So Eli the GOAT.
Sorry.
Eli took down the man that's only lost 18 times in 18 years.
By the way, the GOAT, according to you, is Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers' QBR has plummeted all the way to 22nd in the league at 53, which is scale 0 to 100. It's not very good.
Well, whoever does QBR, they don't like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And by the way, Aaron Rodgers' last Super Bowl was 9 years ago, and that was his one and only?
Yeah,
well, seriously. So is it possible Belichick was just giving you his true view? If that's what, I think he's telling you what everybody's saying behind closed doors. He's getting a little panicky.
No, Skip, look. We all know that coaches normally play the ultimate respect. No matter how bad, they say Blake Bortles look good. They'll say Nathan Peterman is good. You know what they say publicly, but behind closed doors, it's a different story because I have to convince my team that we can beat this team. Now, if I'm heaping praise and say this guy's going to be in Canton and I don't know what we're going to do with him, well, how does that reinforce a positive feeling within my team? You don't think, my coach don't think we can beat him, but how can we beat him?
He's already tried to throw us to Aaron Rodgers? Really?
How does the man, this is what I know. The man has the highest touchdown to interception
He does. Well,
ratio,
that's what I'm saying.
and it is not even close.
And that has translated in the postseason into what? Wait,
Well,
he's
give him
5 and
Belichick.
6 since his Super Bowl.
Well,
5 and 6, and all 5 of his wins since his Super Bowl are all questionable because they're unimpressive.
If Coach Belichick was his D coordinator and he holding teams to 17 points in the playoff, Aaron Rodgers ain't no telling what he be. He might not lost the playoff game considering he's never scored less than 20 points in the playoffs.
Really?
So Coach Belichick.
Wait, are you talking about the same Belichick who gave up 41 to Nick Foles?
Oh my goodness!
Yikes.
You really? Skip?
Really? Oh, really? It happened. You can look it up. It wasn't that long ago.
Hold on, Aaron Rodgers' defense gave up 51 to Arizona.
Well, that was 15 years ago.
Oh, don't do that, Skip.
Oh, it was.
Hold on. So when he gave it those, that was 15 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, Belichick is.
Coach Belichick was trying to get his team inspired, and he did a very good job of that. So don't read into it any more than that.
Who won the game?
The Patriots won.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who threw for 104 yards in the fourth quarter and went 6 for 6? The GOAT did. The real GOAT.
No.
The only number 12, the one who resides in Foxborough.
I show which Coach Belichick was in Green Bay.
Oh. I wish he was mic'd up more.
You know what? You can have it.
Yeah,
You don't want that to happen.
No, I want Josh McDaniels to be the head coach.
Well,
Let's go forward until we're 45.
He's out there he's out there interested in coaching again. If somebody give this weasel scoundrel a job after what he pulled, after what he pulled on Indy, Skip Bayless, you know that was a sucker move.
It was a sucker move, but he stayed for all the right reasons.
No, ain't no sucker, sucker. That's a sucker move, Jetty.
Okay.
And you remember what he did at the Rams?
Yeah.
So I just want to see what he would do without Tom Brady. You keep telling my Coach Belichick, what was it without Tom Brady? What was Josh McDaniels in Denver without Tom Brady? What was he in St. Louis without Tom Brady?
Well, Josh would have been something in Denver if he could have stayed for Tebow.
Well, if he'd have stopped taping people's practices, he could have stayed.
Okay, but he drafted Tebow, and then he didn't get to benefit from it.
Well, if you stop taping people's practices in London,
I'll buy that.
You get to stay on as the head coach.
Well, so he had a chance to coach Andrew Luck or Tom Brady. I think I'll stay with Tom Brady. Can you blame him?
Well, he had a chance to coach Kyle Lawrence. He the one that wanted the head. Hold on, did he not know Andrew Luck was the quarterback of Indy? Did he not know Tom Brady was staying in New England? So when did he realize, was it like 5 minutes before the press conference, that he was going to get introduced as the Colts head coach? Or was it like 5 months?
Yeah, but if the owner says you could have 4 years of coaching Tom Brady as his head coach, would you stay? Yeah, I would.
But then why is he out there looking for a head coaching job?
I don't know that he is.
You read.
I don't know.
You do, Skip.
I don't
do
believe
that.
it.
Oh, now you don't believe
it.
You put something past that scoundrel.
He's got a little scoundrel in him, but the guy he's coaching under has a whole lot of scoundrel in him, right?
I like that.
Okay.
But there's no false pretense. You already know Coach Belichick got it in him.
Enough Belichick, enough Brady for now. We could go all day. We're moving to college basketball. Zion Williamson had quite the debut last night. Is he on his way to being a star in the NBA? Yeah, we're going there next.
You've walked in their footsteps, but you may not know their names. They're guides, just like our founder, Eddie Bauer.
He's got it all, and I know he carries a little extra weight in his midsection and his caboose.
Yeah, he got way more butt than Zebo.
He does. But, again, would he be able to make it in the NFL at as a pass rusher.
Yeah, he's Julius Peppers.
Oh, he would be Julius Peppers. I like that analogy. He could also be a tight end, I'm pretty sure, and he would be virtually unstoppable in the red zone. With that kind of explosion, Charles did not have this kind of leaping explosion.
No. Skippy has a 45-inch vertical at 285.
It's ridiculous. And what caught my ear after the game was that I think Calipari thought what you thought. Well, he's only 6'7", and I'm not even sure he's 6'7".
Right.
They list him as such.
Right. Yeah.
6'6.5",
Right.
I don't know. So Calipari said, well, I threw a 7-footer and a 6'11" kid at him, and it was candy from babies. Like he just rises up over him.
Right.
So his background. In high school, he played the point. His mom was a sprinter in college, and she taught him early and well. And then he had a stepfather who played basketball at Clemson, and they taught him right. And he knows how to play basketball. And he's left-handed, but he's just as good with his right hand.
That's what I was confused, Skip, because like you said, I watched a lot of his basketball clips on YouTube, and I'm like, is he left-handed or is he right-handed?
He's both.
Because he's dunking with his right hand as easily as he does with his left hand, but if you watch him, he shoots with his left hand.
Yeah.
So clearly he's ambidextrous,
right.
amphibious, whatever.
Yeah, whichever way you say it. And if we have that clip of the game was way out of control, but he's running fast break, dropping dimes on fast breakers with two-hand bounce passes, no-look bounce passes. Look at this. This is just sweet. Wow.
Yeah.
Look, you can't teach that. It's just hard for you to be that big and that powerful and be able to do that. So, again, to me, I'm seeing a perennial all-star. But more important, the team that gets him is going to have a chance to win multiple championships because that's winning basketball. That's unstoppable, but winning basketball because he's going to share the ball and he's going to pass the basketball and make the right play at the right time.
We talk about how big LeBron James is. The dude is 15, 20 pounds heavier than LeBron.
Yeah.
Let that sink, and he's 18.
18 years old.
Yeah.
We've never seen anything like this.
I've never said this is the next evolution of basketball, and it's almost like football basketball, but he's highly skilled at basketball.
Right.
That's almost like an unfair combination. So also what caught my eye was the box score, because that other kid, R.J. Barrett from Toronto.
He's probably going to be the first pick in the draft.
He might be, but he's got the selfish gene in him because he's just going to shoot.
Oh, he's shooting.
He's going to shoot. So look, he took 26 shots last night. Zion took 13 shots. So he took twice as many shots, and he scored a bunch more. He put 32 to 23. I'm sorry, those are minutes. 33-28 on points. But Zion's going to score highly efficient points.
Right.
And over time in the NBA, he'll average 5 or 6 assists because he's capable of it.
Well, Zion got in foul trouble early. Had he not gotten in foul trouble, he might have got 40.
He might have. So will R.J. Barrett be good in pro basketball? I think he'll be good, but I don't think he'll be like perennial all-star great because he's also 6'7". So he's just kind of that middle range guy.
But we've seen 6'7" guys like R.J. Barrett.
Okay.
We haven't seen guys like Zion Williams.
We have not, because he's got 7-foot wingspan, which it's like freakish body parts put together, and his strength and explosion is off the charts. Where, like LeBron, even now he's still a man among boys. A lot of nights where he's just so much stronger than everybody else. But against Zion, like if they're matched up in the post, I don't think LeBron's pushing him around.
He got too much backside.
Right.
I mean, Zebo probably could jump this high on a trampoline. But this dude up off the floor, Skip, and he quick with it. You find very few big guys that's quick. The thing that separated Charles, Skip, because he was so undersized, Charles was a quick leaper. So he could lead the floor and be back on the floor and back up again.
Right.
This kid has that kind of bounce.
Yeah, and nobody ever accused Charles of being a great passer because he just didn't care about it, which is why he didn't make an Olympic team with Bobby Knight as the head coach. Right. Bobby just didn't really love his game in general.
Or a workoutaholic.
There you go.
So, but if this kid, if he can, that's the question now. Because, there's, big kids grow up to be big young men and big old men. So the question is,
you're right.
Can he control that?
Yeah. And I don't know what his diet is. I don't know if he could lean out.
Man, he's 18 years old. Burgers, fries, tacos, burritos, fried chicken, whatever they serve in the training hall.
Okay, but to your point, that cannot rise in pro basketball. They cannot go up, because your knees can take only so much.
Yes.
And if you're 300 and you're jumping that high, coming down that hard.
That many times a night. They ain't got enough ice baths.
They don't.
To take the pressure off those knees.
You're not born with enough knee cartilage to protect that, to keep bone from getting to bone.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 18, O'Shea, did I hear anything?
Yeah, but
anything that started, it would
fell right off.
Shredded like newspaper.
But could you jump like this?
No, probably about 38 and a half, 39. I ain't had no 45. But I jumped as high as I wanted to.
Did you?
Yeah. I was flushing on folks. I was giving my head,
Anybody recruit you to play college basketball?
I had a few offers. You know, I had a few offers. Not
a few offers, just a few.
The thing was, actually, I was a better basketball in track than I was in football.
Yeah.
I only got one trophy in football.
Really?
My senior year, I was the MVP of the team. But basketball and track and field, doing that thing on the rig.
You got a lot of maybe Savannah City State.
No,
play basketball.
Skip, I was prop 48. With my grades, I couldn't have got in prison, Jenny.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, they were bad, Jenny. I needed a crane to pull them.
I think you could have gotten in prison.
Come along.
No. My grades, they said, no, we ain't taking you. Your GPA too low.
You ended up with plenty of trophies, though.
Yeah, got a few of those Lombardis. Got a few Lombardis.
Yeah. Terrell Davis.
Don't do that, Skip.
Ray Lewis.
I think TD and John. I think that my guys will say, I don't think we could have done without O'Shea.
Really?
Nah.
I've never heard that from anyone.
Yeah, you heard that?
No.
Well, I'll have to get them on here to
tell you.
That'd
be news to
That'd be
me.
nice. Get him on here. All right, how about this? Des Bryant. Is he going to be a game changer for the Saints? Is that actually happening? We'll discuss next.
You going to throw up next?
Yeah.
Your fiber internet is all set up.
It's speed. We don't have to fight anymore.
The bandwidth war is over. Get the house power to fuel your digital world with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Whoa, serious speed boost. Oz, what is this? CenturyLink just installed fiber internet.
Bonjour, madouille. Get the house power to fuel your digital
With wars over.
Get the house power to fuel your digital world with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Whoa, serious speed boost. Oz, what is this? CenturyLink just installed fiber internet.
Bonjour, madouille. Get the house power to fuel your digital world with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Your fiber internet is all set up.
It's speed. We don't have to fight anymore.
The bandwidth war is over. Get the house power to fuel your digital world with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Whoa, serious speed boost. Oz, what is this? CenturyLink just installed fiber internet.
Bonjour, madouille. Get the house power to fuel your digital world with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Your fiber internet's all set up. Things are going to be different.
It's speed. We don't have to fight anymore. TV, you can stream 4K.
While you monitor everything in HD.
Fridge, you can...
Short-read videos. Magnifique.
Epic. Lag is virtually toast. The bandwidth war is over.
Upgrade your house power with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Speeds up to 1 gig for only $75 a month. Speed may not be available in your area. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
NBA League Pass knows this game is all about choices. Watch on my phone.
How you want it?
My TV.
Where do you want it? Or my tablet. Watch the whole season.
NBA League Pass.
You can earn $100. Deductible.
For every year of safe driving.
For every year of safe driving.
What key you at?
E.
No, G.
G will be too high.
Not for me.
Vanishing deductible.
Oh, gosh, sweet.
This is the not-for-sale Kia Forte drift car with a blistering top speed and excessive amount of horsepower. And This is the totally redesigned 2019 Kia Forte. With an 8-inch touchscreen and professional race car driver Colette Davis to demo it. It doesn't have to make sense.
I want to give my family a great entertainment system. Where do I start?
At home.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with us. An in-home consultation.
Really?
And it's free.
Free expertise at your place? That's quite a stocking stuffer.
I've heard a lot about Samsung 4K QLED TVs.
They're great. And when we look at your space, we'll know how to build the best system for you.
I want to give Santa some real competition this year.
Shall we set up that consultation then?
Yeah, let's do it.
I wonder if they come in through the chimney.
What average underwear feels like. What Duluth Buck Naked underwear feels like. Duluth Trading Buck Naked underwear. The most comfortable underwear there is. No pinch, no stink, no sweat. Get a pair. Only at Duluth stores and DuluthTrading.com.
Carolina-Pittsburgh tonight under the A++ matchup on Thursday Night Football. Kansas, Big Ben, Luke Kuechly, and Antonio Brown. Antonio's Paul, Antonio's Fur, and Antonio's dancing. Time now for our hot topic of the day, sponsored by Burger King. Has Dez Bryant found a new home? He worked out for the Saints yesterday, and reports say he left without a contract, but the Saints, quote, liked what they saw, and the sides are in negotiations on a deal. The Saints have won 7 straight, but besides Michael Thomas, they're thin at wide receiver. So, Shannon, is this a good fit or a bad fit?
Dez should be very excited. I mean, there are only 7 games left in the season, and someone is giving him a call, giving him an opportunity. But I'm not so sure it's a fit, Skip, especially for what they do. Now, I understand that Dez is probably the best receiver available on the free agent market. They're in need of a receiver, considering they went to the game, I think, Sunday with 4 receivers. Ted Ginn is still on IR with a chance to come back. I don't know if and when he will come back. My thing is that when you look at the Saints offense, the thing that comes to my mind is precision.
Yep.
Drew Brees, there's a reason why Drew Brees keeps setting these completion percentage mark year after year, Skip. 72% last year. Now he's completing 76% of his passing. When Drew foot hit the 3rd step or the 5th step or the 7th step, he's throwing the ball. The guys are where they're supposed to be. Dez hasn't run a whole lot of precision routes in his career. Basically, it's been a slant. That's precision. But I'm saying as he's gotten older, the jump ball, that's not what Drew. Now, Drew is very good. I mean, he's great at throwing back shoulders. And these quarterbacks, a lot of quarterbacks live in that world. So I don't know if it's a good fit or a bad fit. It is a fit. They're in need of a receiver. Dez is in need of a team. So it might be the fit that works best. Now, I don't really know what the negotiations are. You need a receiver. He needs a team. What are we talking about? The holdup from Dez not signing with Baltimore, Skip, is that he only wanted a 1-year deal. Well, New Orleans will give you something better. A 7-game deal with a chance to get to and win the Super Bowl. So you get an opportunity to prove yourself. Secondly, you're going to get the 2nd and 3rd corner. Michael Thomas is clearly the number 1.
Yep.
So you're not going to have to worry about dealing with everybody's best corner. You're going to get the 2nd and 3rd corner. And the most important, although I listed it last, Drew Brees is accomplished enough. He ain't going to be fooling with Dez with that bullseye. And guess what happens the first time Dez comes to the sideline, throws his hands up in the air, throws his helmet, hits the kicking net. He's up out of New Orleans.
He can keep on walking.
Exactly. Yep. So, Sean Payton and Drew Brees, I ain't even worried about that. Because ask Adrian Peterson, all you got to do is call AP. Give Sean Payton a look or say mumble something under your breath. And Sean Payton can hear what you said and he doesn't like it. What's going to happen?
So, this deal is still pending, according to reports, and I hope, for Dez's sake, he doesn't price himself completely out of the market, like demand too much here, because it went south quickly with Baltimore. And then, remember, Hard Knocks, and we're going to have Hugh Jackson here on the show in just a few minutes, but Hugh was recruiting Dez on Hard Knocks, and then for some reason that I don't know, we're going to ask Hugh, it didn't work. Right? Fell apart. Well, I hope this one doesn't fall apart, because I completely agree with you. It's a terrible fit strategically, It's the wrong place, wrong time. But what I do love about this is Sean Payton loves star power. He loves marquee magic. You know, he's a showman in and of himself. He's a showman play caller. He'll try to light it up when he's on big stage games. He'll try plays. You know, they'll have all kinds of reverse flea flicker, crazy kind of plays. Yeah. So just the message it would send to sign Dez Bryant just to the opponent. We got Dez Bryant and you don't. Because, look, Dez just turned on November 4th 30 years of age. Does he still have some football in that body? Yeah, maybe some.
Right.
A lot of people still think he's Dez Bryant, all caps. A lot of people still think he's that guy who for 3 years,
especially Cowboy fans.
That's true. They do. No, they do. And maybe some opponents, some of the younger players, I think they still are in awe of Dez Bryant. 2012, 13, and 14, he led the NFL in touchdown catches. 2014, he got his money, and he got the cover of Rolling Stone. I just can't believe, you want to talk about crossover mystique? And Rock Nation, Jay-Z, he had the whole thing going for him, and then his body just betrayed him, and it broke down. He lost his confidence. Everything went south. And then he led the league in drops last year. But if you still think he's Dez, then he brings aura to your team. He brings presence. He brings some mystique to your team. I like that for Sean Payton. If nothing else, can he be a decoy for you? Like, if you just run him out, if you split him opposite of Michael Thomas,
right?
Does the defense at least have to say, well, we got to deal with him?
And plus, the other receivers, Skip, they're extremely young.
Yep.
Now, you don't know, and they're playing well right now, but you don't know how they'll perform once the playoffs roll around, because that's a totally different animal.
It is.
Because the playoffs, there is no more tomorrow if you lose. Yeah. You lose a game in the regular season, it's on to next Sunday or next Monday.
What was the last big game that Dez played for my Dallas Cowboys? It was versus Aaron Rodgers in that playoff game. He was a main reason they got that. What were they down, 21-3? Right. And the next pass went, I don't know, 40-some yards to Dez Bryant, and all of a sudden they got back in the game. And he had a big game that day.
And he played big, I think he played big in 2014 game also.
Oh,
even though, the
catch game. Oh, no. Is that the one? That Green Bay game?
Yeah,
sure he did. So, okay, so he's been there and done all of that, so that could help some. But again, I can't condemn Sean Payton for saying, hey, it's Dez Bryant. Let's try that.
We need a receiver.
Yeah, and he's got to know, because Sean Payton will mince no words with him. You do it our way.
Right.
And if you get the ball, you get it. If you don't, you just don't.
You run hard, you block hard, you do other things to show, your value.
Right. Because I don't know how they did it, but they got to 7-1 without Dez Bryant, right?
Yeah.
And I still don't know, because I look and they don't really have even a second wide receiver. They got Kamara, who's the equivalent of wide receiver. They got Benjamin Watson, who's still really good. And they got arguably the best wide receiver in football, at least on numbers.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
They say he is, right?
He's playing unbelievable.
What did he catch for 212?
He caught 12 for 211.
211.
He tried to get me, Skip, I had one of them old games like that. And you know what somebody
wait, you're bringing yourself?
No, Skip, I said it to say this. You know what somebody had to ask me, Skip?
You tried to outdo Mike?
No, I wasn't trying to do. Guess what somebody asked me on Twitter?
I have no idea, because I wouldn't ever see what somebody asked me on.
They said, you ever had a game like Michael Thomas?
Oh, did they?
You know what that is, Skip?
And you jumped on that?
No, you know what that is, Skip? I said, I'm in the Hall of Fame. You tell me.
Oh,
that's good.
Is that what your answer?
That was my answer, Skip.
Well, that still wouldn't mean you had a game that top 211, right?
I had 214.
214?
Yeah, I got the NFL tight end record. Skip, did you know this? I don't know if you knew this. I'm the only tight end in history. They got 3 games of 170 yards or better. Really? The only one.
Well, we know now.
Maybe that's how you got in the Hall of Fame.
A game like that, I had those top games routinely. Routinely.
But you have 3 rings, but they came courtesy of...
They came courtesy of our hard work.
Did they?
Yeah, picking them up, putting them down, Skip.
Well, it did take you 3 tries to get in the Hall of Fame. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know how it happened either, Skip, but you know...
How do you explain that?
You know what I tell people? I say, absentee ballot, third ballot.
Doesn't matter. Nobody remembers.
No.
Yeah.
At that point, it doesn't matter.
They don't say, if people introduce me, they don't say third ballot Hall of Famer. They say Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, that's what they say.
I say third ballot.
That's what you say. See, that's why I respond.
I work with the third ballot Hall of Famer.
When he texts me, Jenny, that's why when he texts me, I always put K.
K?
Yep.
That's it?
Yeah, I put K. I put the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it.
It's very serious between these two sides. I don't know. Are we worried about Desmond and his fitness? That worries me a bit. He'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, nothing gets you in shape to play football like playing football.
Well, that's what I mean.
He hadn't played it in a long time. Now, I don't know about you, Skip, but he looked heavy in that video.
It just feels like a long
Run that video back.
time.
You got that in the can right quick. Let Skip see that. He looked heavy to me. Now, I could be wrong. Now, these glasses. Now, you telling me? I mean, that's what.
His backside looks like it's a little thicker.
Man.
Maybe. Well, maybe they need a backup tight end, maybe. I don't know. Okay.
We'll see. Will he have a new home? We'll have to see. And then maybe we'll put up the X. I don't know about that.
So do I.
Will Luke Walton last the whole season as the coach of the Lakers? We'll discuss that with Chris Broussard next.
Your fiber internet's all set up. Things are going to be different.
His speed. We don't have to fight anymore. TV, you can stream 4K.
While you monitor everything in HD.
Fridge, you can...
Short-rib videos. Magnifique.
Epic. Lag is virtually toast.
The bandwidth war is over.
Upgrade your house power with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Speeds up to 1 gig for only $75 a month. Speed may not be available in your area. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Your fiber internet is all set up.
His speed. We don't have to fight anymore.
The bandwidth war is over.
Get the house power to fuel your digital world with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Your fiber internet's all set up. Things are going to be different.
His speed. We don't have to fight anymore. TV, you can stream 4K.
While you monitor everything in HD.
Fridge, you can...
Short-rib videos. Magnifique.
Epic. Lag is virtually toast.
The bandwidth war is over.
Upgrade your house power with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Speeds up to 1 gig for only $75 a month. Speed may not be available in your area. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
If you let a wall like that intimidate you, or see the welcoming bourbon in front of you, it's your call.
Jim Beam on the rocks.
Take it. The bourbon that's been making history since 1795 invites you to make some of your own.
At the Joseph A. Bank Veterans Day sale, save up to 60% store-wide. All executive suits, just $199. Our best-selling Traveler dress shirts, $39. Plus, take an extra 50% off all clearance. From stitch to store, that's the Bank way.
The Volkswagen Atlas with available 4Motion all-wheel drive. Life as big as you make it.
This is turkey in a vat of boiling oil. And these are Arby's deep-fried turkey sandwiches. What inspired us to serve the tastiest, yet most risky preparation of turkey? A really confusing motto here at Arby's that we live by. If you love it, fry it. And if you don't love it that much, fry it until you love it. I never noticed that.
Arby's, we have the meat.
For sandwiches.
What if numbers tell only half the story? At T. Rowe Price, our experts go beyond the numbers to examine investment opportunities firsthand, like e-commerce spurring cardboard demand, the pursuit of allergy-free peanuts, and mobile payment reaching new markets. This is strategic investing, because your investments deserve the full story. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on Fox. Do you want to make watching your favorite sport even better? All you have to do is click with the new Fox Sports app. Now you can stream every game from anywhere you are. It's your personal nerve center for up-to-the-minute scores and stats. Get real-time updates on your favorite team, plus the latest from MLB, college football, and the NFL. All at your fingertips. The new Fox Sports app, now with live streaming. Download it from the App Store today.
When you're
Treating exotic animals, you have to be ready for anything. Hey, got me with this tusk. That's the way to start the day. She's stuck. I don't know how to get her out. Oh, look at that. I wish all of our patients were naked. That feels so much better.
For Dr. K and her staff, saving lives is all in a day's work. Dr. K's Exotic Animal ER. New episode tonight at 9 on Nat Geo Wild.
We have another great day of college football Saturday on Fox. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, and I will be in East Lansing as the 10th-ranked Buckeyes look to keep their playoff hopes alive against number 18 Michigan State. Then number 19 Texas squares off against Texas Tech. It starts Saturday, 11:30 Eastern on Fox, or watch it anywhere on the Fox Sports app. So the 4 and 6 Lakers will try to bounce back from Sunday's blowout loss to the Raptors. When they host the Wolves tonight, rumors have been swirling about Luke Walton's job status, but after the loss, Magic Johnson said, quote, "We're not going to fire him." Well, last week, LeVar Ball went after Walton, telling Sky Sports, quote, "If they need help, shoot, I'll coach them. I can coach them with my eyes closed." We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Skip, you brought it up earlier that where's LeVar? Where are these comments? Well, there they are. He's back. You wanted the comments, and we found them. So, Chris, what do you make of hearing from him?
It was good to hear from him. I've been wondering when it was coming. But this was tame in terms of, like, I didn't see him. Usually you see him. Yeah. These were just printed comments. This is just typical LeVar. This is along the lines of LiAngelo's going to play for the Lakers and get drafted, and all three of my boys are going to play for the Lakers. This was just a completely ridiculous statement. Obviously, he's not going to end up coaching the Lakers. But what I will say is this, getting to the serious issue, I do think Luke is in trouble. And even when Magic came out a day or two after the story leaked, he said he's not going to get fired unless something drastic happens. In the Western Conference, where right now only Dallas and Phoenix are bad. Like, it looks like everybody else is going to be competing for those 8 playoff spots. Even if we knock out Sacramento and Memphis, maybe because we don't think they'll be able to hang on. Right. That's still 11 teams competing for 8 spots. So if you fall back too much, that could be viewed as drastic. I think this next stretch is critical. 7 of their next 9 opponents, starting tonight with Minnesota, are under 500. Yep. Yeah. So you have to, if you're the Lakers, you're looking at this as a stretch of, okay, now let's make a push. Right. We should end this stretch over 500 in terms of our overall record. If they go like 3 and 6 or worse in this stretch, I wouldn't be surprised if Luke is gone. And that sounds harsh.
Like sooner than later. Yeah,
because I think a few things. One, that sounds harsh. But if I'm Magic Johnson and I'm looking at the West and I'm looking at my team, and I'm saying I have the best player in the world, I've got some talent around him, why can't I be as good as anybody in the West other than outside of Golden State? Like, he should legitimately feel like I can be as good as anybody in the West outside of Golden State. Right. I just need a coach to bring it together. And if I don't see the structure on offense, if my defense is atrocious, then I think Luke could be the fall guy. So I think this next stretch is critical.
And the next coach would be?
Look, somebody, now, they haven't contacted anybody as far as I know. And I've talked to a few guys, and I haven't heard that they've contacted anybody. But names that people have mentioned to me, Jason Kidd, Mark Jackson, obviously Ty Lue is out there. And I think the Lakers, like, some coaches don't want to join a team until they have their own training camp. But with the Lakers, what I'm being told is, look, it's the Lakers. It's LeBron James. You take that job when you can get it. Jason Kidd, all these guys I mentioned, why they may make sense is because you have to have somebody who commands respect from LeBron. Right. LeBron looks at Jay Kidd like almost like a big brother. Yep. Mark Jackson, he has respect for his basketball knowledge. Rondo would too. Ty Lue, obviously, they have the history. So that's why those names are out there. But look, because they have 3 things they need to do this year that they want to do. We said it, develop the young players, see who's a keeper with LeBron. Win now, meaning make the playoffs and make a little noise. And then create a culture that other free agents are going to want to play in. If other free agents, including Anthony Davis, or even though he's not a free agent but could be traded, if they look at the Lakers and say, what are they doing in the half court? Where's the defense? They're not going to want to come here. And so those are the things Magic and Pelinka are looking at.
From what you
that's
know,
why I think he could be in
did
trouble.
LeBron love playing for Ty Lue? That's
I don't know that LeBron. Yeah, I don't know that LeBron had a problem. I know, and I don't know that this is a secret. LeBron's tough to coach even for a guy like Ty Lue, who he respects. Right. Ty Lue, or LeBron respects Ty Lue, but LeBron knows the game, is strong-minded, wants to do what he wants to do. So that's the challenge that any coach is going to have.
Are you saying Ty Lue this again?
Look, I know Ty Lue was looking forward to showing what he could do without LeBron. However, if he got the opportunity to coach LeBron again in this team, I think he would take it. I do. The question is, some people obviously it stressed him out.
Yeah, I'd say. It knocked him out for a
right,
while.
Health-wise would even take it. So
expectations. My reactions to LeVar's comments is that I'm not surprised. Skip was like, I hadn't heard from him. But he makes some valid points. I think Luke's trying to play too many players. He's trying to appease too many people. You playing these guys and guys are stepping on each other's toes. The situation was crystallized when LeBron was suspended and B.I. was suspended. But now they come back, and now you got to re-ingratiate them. And guys that were getting major minutes, they go back to the bench. And when they come in, they're kind of off rhythm. So he makes some valid points, but, you just basically take everything with a great grain of salt. Luke Walton's seat is extremely hot. Because, and I think he probably had the teams that we thought were going to be good in the West gotten out to the starts that we thought they would have, he probably would have already been fired. Because had Houston been what we thought, Utah been what we thought, the Pelicans, we're looking at a whole different ball game. But because all of these teams got off to slow starts, the Lakers like, hey, we're good. But Magic said, okay, it was 10 games. But what you can't do, Skip, you can't fall behind too far because the only team that could go on a 12, 15, 20-game win streak is Golden State.
Yep.
You go down, you all of a sudden, you 4-14, you 4-15. You're not coming back from that. You're not coming back to get to 500, so you're always going to be constantly fighting an uphill battle. When you get LeBron James, Skip, that's the pressure. And if you coach the all-time great player, as Pat Riley was pressure on him, as Bill Finch and Casey Jones when they coached Larry Bird, the pressure, when you have a transcendent player, get to the playoffs, what? You better win a championship, because if you don't, it's your fault. They're never going to blame the player.
So, I miss LeVar. So I love this. This made me very happy. Got me
You want more, though, right? I want to see him.
Maybe, once again, LeVar disqualified all of his comments by saying, I can coach this team with my eyes closed. Yeah. I don't think so. But the point is, the points were correct. And I've been saying the same thing. You've been saying the same thing. I'm pretty sure you're on the same page that, what are you doing? Why do you play Rondo more than Lonzo? It's just wrong. It's not where you're headed for the short term or the long term, to me. And again, he loves his son, maybe to a fault, but he keeps saying Lonzo is very special. I believe that. And I believe that LeBron thinks Lonzo is very special, and the way they have vibed off each other is pretty special to me. I like the look of it. I like the flow of it. You made the point when Rondo was out, it clarified. You could just see them because Luke was forced to play them together a lot more. And it looked like LeBron was very comfortable with that. And again, Lonzo's not going to be gunning it. He's going to give it up pretty quickly, and he's going to make sure LeBron gets the ball where he needs it and wants it on time. So what are you doing? And again, his conclusion is, if you have the second overall pick and you pair him up with the greatest player in basketball, then how do you not win a championship with that? Well, ultimately, that's why Luke's seat is red hot, right? So, again, just in pure minutes played, they're pretty close. Rondo's averaged 27.1 a game, and Lonzo's at 26.6. But in the fourth quarter, it's a discrepancy because Rondo's up to 7.3 versus 5.9. So Rondo's getting the key fourth quarter minutes.
Especially closing.
Yeah, he's getting the closer minutes for sure. I don't love it. I don't.
Now, Rondo's playing well, though, too. That's where these two agendas clash to me, because you want to win now. At times, Rondo looks like the guy to go with now to win that game, right?
Especially if you want Saturday.
Yeah, I mean they're totally different players. But he plays well. I mean, when he's in there and he commands.
Their overall numbers are about the same, but go ahead.
But I mean, he's getting just the way he runs the team.
Yep.
Like he runs that team well. You can see, even players are listening to him. Some people wonder, will he and LeBron ultimately clash? Rondo and LeBron, because Rondo is a leader of that team. He clashed with Wade and Jimmy Butler in Chicago. Right. But he runs the team well. But to your point, going forward, Lonzo's your guy of the future.
Right.
And he's had his
not your guy of the
future. That's the question. I don't think they're as sold on him now as they were. Like now, it's like now. It's like if we get this free agent we want, where's Lonzo on the pecking order? Even where is he now? He's below Ingram and maybe Kuzma and. You know, like now it's a whole different ball game. It's not about developing this number 2 pick anymore.
And the thing is that when you look at him, it's like he's losing confidence because he says, no matter how well I play, y'all coming to get me. I can be lighting it up. I can be 4 for 4. And guess what? Rondo's checking in at the 6-minute mark.
I don't know if he's losing confidence. He just loses passion. You know,
So what can I do?
Right.
What can I do to get these meaningful minutes like I did when Rondo was away? And I give you credit, Chris, he is playing. Rondo has played well. I mean, he had a double-digit point game, double-digit rebound game, assists. You know, he's high up in there in assists in a couple of games. But what is Lonzo? I mean, Lonzo's made some big shots. He plays well.
He has. And again, what was the onus on him? You got to improve your three-point shots. And he's making 41%. He's taken 46. So that's 19 of 46. That works.
I think they want to see, because when Rondo was out, that's when Lonzo kind of emerged and started playing well. But I think the Lakers feel like we don't want Rondo's presence to bother you. Like, you can't be worried about this veteran's behind me. And like you said, if they take me out, now I've lost my passion.
Yep.
I think they want to see, look, are you a dog or not? Are you up to the challenge of this guy being behind you? Beat him out.
You asking me if I'm a dog, but you won't let me off the porch. Let me hunt. Let me show you I'm a dog.
He has to play with that passion, though, whenever he's out there.
But here's the thing. He's not the guy. He's not Russ. He's not that guy that has that fire. He is what he is. And see, we fall into that notion where he needs to have that fire like Magic, or he used to have like this assassin. That's not who he is. You got to let him be who he is. I mean, there's some dogs that hunt, some dogs that just lay on the couch, but they good. So if he gonna get the job done, if he gonna
just lay on the couch.
No, but I'm saying if he gonna guard the house, or is he gonna go hunt?
So you guys want to see him play 38 minutes.
Absolutely.
See what he looks like.
I do. No, I don't know about 38, but I'll let him get him in the 30s. Let him get 32, 33.
I think it might be worth an experiment.
LeVar's saying your two mainstays should be LeBron, Lonzo, and the others should rotate in.
You believe that?
I'm good with that.
I like Lonzo like you, but I don't know that he's the second best player on the team.
I think Magic thinks Kuzma and B.I. should be in that after LeBron rotation. And then somewhere they're going to, fill in with Lonzo.
Yeah, that's how I think they're thinking too.
You got your LeVar.
I mean, you watch the game. What do they tell you about the substitution pattern?
I don't know what the substitution.
Well, it's
a mess. And in fairness, because look, we talked about creating this culture for other free agents. In fairness, the culture isn't always created by the coach.
Yeah.
It's created by the front office. So Magic should really be the one, and obviously LeBron's gonna have a say about the culture, but Magic has to be the one to create the culture. So he bears some blame too. If it looks all crazy and where are we going? Who is it? Lonzo? Is it Rondo?
Yeah.
What about old Lancelot? You know, old Lancelot getting there starting.
It's the same thing, right? He's playing well.
That's what I know. When I see him grab the ball like this here and start doing, I say, okay, some bull jive about to come. Some bull jive about to happen.
Maybe some good bull jive.
It might be good.
You know when he get the ball like this.
Not a good sign. Prince, thank you for joining us.
It's crazy.
Should Nick Saban and Alabama be scared of good old khaki pants? Michigan. I've been waiting to say that. We'll discuss that with Joel Klatt next.
If
fiber internet's all set up. Things are going to be different.
It's speed. We don't have to fight anymore. TV, you can stream 4K.
While you monitor everything in HD.
Fridge, you can...
Short-read videos. Magnifique.
Epic. Lag is virtually toast.
The bandwidth war is over.
Upgrade your house power with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Speeds up to 1 gig for only $75 a month. Speed may not be available in your area. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Your fiber internet's all set up. Things are going to be different.
It's speed. We don't have to fight anymore. TV, you can stream 4K.
While you monitor everything in HD.
Fridge, you can...
Short-read videos. Magnifique.
Epic. Lag is virtually toast.
The bandwidth war is over.
Upgrade your house power with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Speeds up to 1 gig for only $75 a month. Speed may not be available in your area. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Your fiber internet is all set up.
It's speed. We don't have to fight anymore.
The bandwidth war is over.
Get the house power to fuel your digital world with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Your fiber internet's all set up. Things are going to be different.
It's speed. We don't have to fight anymore. TV, you can stream 4K.
While you monitor everything in HD.
Fridge, you can...
Short-read videos. Magnifique.
Epic. Lag is virtually toast.
The bandwidth war is over.
Upgrade your house power with CenturyLink Fiber Internet. Speeds up to 1 gig for only $75 a month. Speed may not be available in your area. Switch today at CenturyLink.com/housepower.
Look at us, sitting alone, without our users.
Can you imagine mine went jogging out in nature?
Yep, we've lost control over them. No more liking and sharing.
That's nothing. They've got real friends again, not followers.
And they were helpless, depending on us all the time.
Infuriating. We should have stopped this Red Bull. It even says vitalizes body and mind.
I'm so cold.
Too late, because Red Bull gives you wings.
Today's Best Western rewards you in a flash. Get a free night pass with points that never expire at over 4,200 hotels worldwide. And get double rewards points on every stay. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Wake up, wake up. The time has come for paths to be beat and treasures won. And impossible tales to be sung. As we take on our foes, together as one. Till we send our fears back to where they came from. Wake up, wake up. The time has come.
You see, Brad, songs are really about big life moments. Baby shower here. Big life moment.
What is in here?
Ooh, I hope it's a life insurance policy.
What?
It's a sensible gift. Protection for you. It's all the tools to help you find the right coverage.
Tiny baby shoes. So close.
Makes no sense. Baby can't even walk. Should have been a life insurance policy. Plus, would have been a great song. Think about it. The lyrics, beneficiaries. Ooh, Brad, where are you going?
Defending champ, Alabama is the favorite to repeat. Who is going to win it all?
It's straight irresponsible to not pick Alabama for the national championship.
I love it.
Yeah, you know what it's called. It's not the college football playoff. It's the AI, the Alabama Invitational.
I'm going to put my pride out on the table. I'm going to take 14th ranked Michigan. Because Jim Harbaugh is a better all-around proven head football coach than Nick Saban.
What makes you think he's going to do what he hasn't been able to do since he's been there?
He has not yet had a quarterback. And now he has a real, live, bona fide college quarterback.
You know, a lot of people have confused guts and stupidity.
I just picked the team that plays the toughest schedule in America. Is that not guts?
Oh, so that was way back in August when you guys made your college football championship picks.
It's looking really good, isn't it?
The experts.
I know. We have to say, I have to say,
non-experts.
well done. Well done, because we were all questioning you there, but Michigan, they like to say they're on their revenge tour. So how are you feeling about the pick now?
May I remind my partner straight across the table that he ridiculed that pick to the point that he bet me 3 cases of Diet Mountain Dew that Michigan would lose 5 games this year.
Oh, you're getting those cases.
It could still happen, I guess, but they're at Rutgers and then Indiana, and then they have to go to Ohio.
Rutgers in Indiana.
Well, Rutgers,
they count.
No, they don't count.
Michigan is favored by 40 points at Rutgers.
Really?
Saturday,
How about
by 40 points.
But you want to talk about Alabama, who they play?
Well, easy. They got the Citadel coming up. So let's not throw stones
are you
at glass
conceding the 3 more cases? Should I up my stakes here to I'm up 13 on you now?
You're not up anything.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm going to get it back when they play in the college football playoff.
So, I'm going to say it again. I do believe, even though it's a long shot, because that Alabama team just might be Nick Saban's best team ever, because he's got by far his best quarterback ever.
Yeah.
But Michigan's quarterback is pretty good. I'm not saying he's great, but he's a good college quarterback, which is what I called him in August. And this team has all the ingredients to pull off the upset of Alabama because it plays defense. And to me, Don Brown's he's as good a coordinator as there is in college football, right?
And there's hands down at this point.
Hands down. And they are number 1 in yards allowed. They're number 1 in pass defense, which could cause Tua some issues. And they have a pass rush. You interviewed Chase Winovich at the end of the Northwestern game, and Rashawn Gary's finally back from the shoulder injury. And every time I look up, Uche is in somebody's backfield causing havoc. And on offense, they are 4th in the country in time of possession, 35 minutes to 25. Is that a formula for beating Alabama? Just keep the football away from Tua? Sure it is. Shea Patterson he's 14 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions, and he's a nifty ball handler who can run it on key plays. Yep. He can do the read option, and he'll scramble, and he'll get away. Key play yards. And Karan Higdon, I don't know if he's going to be a great pro back, but he's a really good college football running back. 120 yards a game. In that receiving court, they got Tariq Black back, and he's their one speed guy, and he caught a touchdown pass the other day that got nullified on a formation problem, but he can fly, and Nico Collins and Peoples-Jones and Zach Gentry's going to be the first tight end taken in the draft. All of a sudden, all the ingredients are there to at least make it credible against Alabama. So if they do meet, and it's still a long ways to go because Michigan's got to go win at the Ohio State, but I will pick Michigan to beat Alabama if it comes to that in the national semifinal.
Well, I'm going to get half of my cases back. Go ahead, Joe.
On that, you or me, right? You or me. Okay, listen, everything that you just said, everything was true until the end. You still can't pick Michigan, even with all of that being true. I didn't disagree with a thing you said. Michigan's fantastic. I love the Michigan Wolverines right now. Their defense is playing at a level right now that, quite frankly, I haven't seen in quite some time, even from teams like Alabama in the past couple of years. The problem is that when you pit Michigan up against Alabama, what you run into is an Alabama team that defensively is also very good. In fact, Alabama, on average, holds their opponents about 15 points under what those teams normally average for the season. Okay, and they've faced 5 top 50 offenses as according to yards per play. So it's not like they haven't played anybody in that statistical category. Well, if you hold Michigan 15 points under what they average, that's 21. They score 21 because Michigan scores 36, 21. So you're saying, hey, Michigan's going to score 3 touchdowns against the Tide. As much as I love Don Brown and that defense, you're not holding Alabama 30 points under what they average. It's just not going to happen, regardless of how much time of possession you have. I mean, maybe 1 out of 10 times Michigan would get them. They get 2 or 3 turnovers. They hold the ball for close to 40 minutes, and then they were able to get them in the end. But in any type of model that you build, Alabama beats Michigan 9 out of 10 times by the score of about 34 or 35 to 21. That's what it is. I don't think there's any team in America outside of Clemson that can stay within 2 possessions of Alabama. That's the striking part. When you go through the data, Clemson's the only team in America that can stay within 2 possessions. Even OU, that score would be about 50 to 37. Alabama.
Hold on.
Hey, Oklahoma, I know them all too well. They could not hold Alabama to 50 points. I don't believe it. They couldn't hold Texas Tech. If the quarterback hadn't got hurt at halftime, Texas Tech would have had 60.
I don't disagree with you.
And the thing is, and I agree with you, Clemson is really the only team because Lawrence can throw the ball. That situation has been clarified now that Kelly Bryant has been removed. But here's the thing. If Tua's healthy, Nobody's beating Alabama.
I don't see it either.
Nobody's beating Alabama, Skip. Those receivers, that's the best group of receivers that Nick Saban has ever had at one particular time. Now, Julio Jones might have been the best, he's better than all of them. Amari Cooper. But together, this is the best group.
That's right.
Quarterback is not even close. Tua's going to go down as the best quarterback to ever come. And they had Bart Starr, they had Joe Namath, all those. None of them going to be able to touch Tua.
I don't know if he's better than Joe Namath. I don't know if he's better than Joe Namath at Alabama.
Stop it, Skip.
He was
special. Skip, the man just came off the bench and delivered. What quarterback you know in the history of the game could come off the bench at halftime and Coach Saban said, go get me that championship? We got it.
I'm old enough to remember this, but Joe Namath was a running quarterback at Alabama, and he could really run.
Did you see Tua with a bum leg? With a flat tire and go get a touchdown? Yeah. And here's the thing, Skip. Michigan ranks 96th in pass offense.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
What you do? Now, you know to beat St. Nick. As Trevor Knight did, as you so eloquently, you love to bring that up. He lost to Trevor Knight in the Sugar Bowl. Chad Kelly. Deshaun Watson. How did they beat him?
Twice.
How did they beat him? You're not going to line up in an eye. You're not going to line up and split back and run the ball down Nick Saban's throat.
LSU's been trying to do that for years.
Ask Leonard Fournette how that worked out for him. Now, Zeke got 230, but Cordell Jones threw for like 250, had some timely runs in there too. But if you think you're just going to turn around and hand it to your running back and run the ball down that 3-4 defense, that's not going to happen. But they got old defensive back, old Pat Surtain Jr. He might be the best cornerback in football and a true freshman.
The only team that hasn't gotten a lot of love, and it's because of the quarterback situation, I think. Early in preseason, it was all Bama and Clemson, Bama and Clemson. Then all of a sudden, the Kelly Bryant, Trevor Lawrence saga started to play out, and Clemson kind of fell off. Maybe didn't play their best in the opening month of the season. You know what they've done in their last 4?
Rough shot.
They have drilled everybody to the point where they're winning games by right now an average of 50 points. An average of 50 points in their last 4. In fact, when you look at what they've done, 240 to 36, 51-point margin in their last 4 games. If you average everything out, if you take all the data and you throw it in there and you say Bama's going to hold Clemson about 15 points under what they normally score, and Clemson's going to hold Alabama about 18 points under what they normally score, because that's what those defenses do, guess what you get? The only tight ball game that Alabama could potentially play. I would predict Alabama would win that ball game 34-32. And they're the only team in America that can stay within a possession. That's what the math says. That's what the data says.
That's
what
the math.
I say.
And we good at math over here.
I know what my eye test says, that Michigan has 4 receivers who are going to play pro football. And I think you're both underestimating how they would be able to throw the ball against Alabama, because they would have to throw
do it with consistency.
He's accurate. He doesn't have a big arm, but he's got an accurate arm.
I don't think that, candidly, and I love Jim and I love Pep Hamilton. I'm speaking of their quarterback. They coach the quarterbacks. They've got Jim McElwain.
Jim McElwain coaches the receivers.
He's the receivers
That's as good a coaching staff as you will find in America.
I agree. And when I watch Shea play, it's like he's playing in handcuffs.
Okay,
because they don't let him throw the ball down the field. Even when he escapes the pocket,
he's got to get the last 2 games is they're on their revenge tour. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I'm seeing the handcuffs come off.
Maybe.
They started to come off against Penn State. I saw him start to operate with a little swagger and confidence that I had not seen. He is good enough to beat Alabama.
When they go to the shoe, we'll see.
Yeah.
Because if Urban doesn't get it, we got something for him in the Alabama invitation.
Yeah, we'll see. And, I watched Tua very closely the other night, and he was starting to look, dare I say, human, because I saw 4 or 5 passes that were starting to wobble and go sideways. I don't know. I started to see
I think maybe 1 or 2.
But you know what? It's working. Happening over and over again. Hottest team in America is Michigan.
Nothing you're saying is wrong, except for, Jim's never even won a conference championship in college. Let him at least do that. Nick Saban,
he's won 5
conferences.
How do you get hotter than Ghost Peppers? We're as hot as you can get right now. We're a million on the Scoville meter.
Since 2008, Nick Saban has won more national championships than he's lost home games.
Oh, that's
did you know that?
It's an ugly
Now he does.
All right, Joel, on that note, thank you for being here. Always a good time. We have former Browns coach Hugh Jackson. He's going to be here live in studio.
Yep.
Next, we have a lot to talk to him about coming up.
I've got a long list. Here we go.
My daughter, she's getting into gaming.
Nintendo Switch. You can play at home or anywhere.
My brother?
DJI Mavic Drone. Guys love drones.
Well, other holidays are going to be very jealous.
When your craving strikes, you need your Whitman. No one can totally satisfy a craving quite like your Whitman.
At this station, you get Exxon and Mobile Rewards Plus points with every purchase. Or you can go to that station and get no points. Which do you prefer?
Yeah, I'm going to go with this one.
The choice is clear. People love Exxon and Mobile Rewards Plus. Start earning today at ExxonMobileRewardsPlus.com.
The Volkswagen Atlas with available panoramic sunroof. Life's as big as you make it.
At the Joseph A. Bank Veterans Day sale, save up to 60% store-wide. All executive suits, just $199. Our best-selling traveler dress shirts, $39. Plus, take an extra 50% off all clearance. From stitch to store, that's the bank way.
You could let a wall like that intimidate you. Could let a wall like that intimidate you. Or discover the welcoming bourbon in front of you. See your call.
Jim Beam on the rocks.
Make it tip. The bourbon that's been making history since 1795 invites you to make some of your own.
Try the new Philly Cheese King with a half pound of flame grilled beef, melted American cheese, caramelized onions, and creamy cheese sauce. Inspired by filling, improved by fire. The Philly Cheese King, also available on a sourdough bun, only at Burger King.
Today's Best Western rewards you in a flash. Get a free night fast with points that never expire at over 4,200 hotels worldwide. And get double rewards points on every stay. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Carolina, Pittsburgh tonight under the A++ matchup on Thursday Night Football. Cam Newton, Big Ben, Luke Kuechly, and Antonio Brown. Antonio's car, Antonio's fur, and Antonio's dancing Heinz Field under the lights. Prime time for Manny Sandwich. Have you ever had a Manny Sandwich? You don't watch some action movie when the Man of Steel comes to take the Steel City. You watch the Panthers and the Steelers on Thursday Night Football. Got it? Good.
Sam Ellinger and the Longhorns. Battle Allen Coleman and the Red Raiders. Texas Tech. Saturday on Fox.
Ever wonder why the quarterback is often the best looking guy on a team? Think about it. Who gets the ball in the playground in the 4th or 5th grade? The handsome kid. The girls think he's cute, the boys think he's cool, and this process begins. There's even a term for it. It's called quarterback face.
You dropping off or picking up?
You know, the thing about dynasties, people say they don't like them, but they watch them. It's like the Powerball. People play it because they want to be a
FX. What does this symbol mean?
That I do. You knew that. I did know that.
It's definitely bigger than the last one.
Our next guest spent 2.5 years as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. He was let go last week after a 2-5-1 start to the season. And Hugh Jackson, welcome to Undisputed.
Thank you for having me.
To have you here. Yeah, I
Great to have
appreciate you joining us. Last week you mentioned wanting to possibly be an offensive coordinator again. So what is next for you?
Well, I think that's what's next. You know, I think you got to take a step back. The first thing I've done is just tried to process all of this that's happened over the last couple of weeks. And when I look back, take the things that are good and make sure you move on from the things that are bad. But the one thing I know I can do is go coordinate offensive football teams in the National Football League. I've done that, and kind of go from there.
I agree with that, and I think you'd be great at that, and that was always your strength, and I'm not sure you got to use enough of your strength, especially play calling, as a head coach. So let's start from the start. Let's go back 2 seasons ago to set the stage for what began to unfold, the Myles Garrett draft. How much input, how much of a vote did you have in which way to go in that first round?
Oh, I did. We were a collaborative group. You know, we worked through it as an organization, made a decision to take Myles, which we truly believe was the right decision.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Because you loved a couple of quarterbacks.
Oh, no, I did like some quarterbacks, but I thought Myles was a generational player. I think he was a cornerstone player for the organization. At the time, there was a need at both positions. But when you looked at the draft and the players, I thought Myles was the best player.
Between Deshaun and Mahomes, which way would you have leaned?
I like them both. I thought both of them were outstanding players. Obviously, Patrick's having an outstanding season this year, and so is Deshaun. They're both playing really well for their football teams. They both have some skill sets that translate into the National Football League. Patrick can really throw it. Deshaun can throw it, and he uses his legs extremely well. So I think both of those guys are obviously proving out that they are worthy of the draft status that they have.
Okay, so in hindsight, I was bullish, as Shannon knows, on Deshaun. I thought Cleveland should have taken Deshaun and would forever regret not taking him. Do you look back and regret that at all? Would that have changed your life?
I don't. To look back, hindsight's always 20/20. But when you're in it, you don't get a chance to look back. I think obviously getting the offense to a situation where it was playing better, being an offensive head coach was important. But my whole vision was about the division. How do we win the division? What was going to be best for our football teams? And I knew if you couldn't stop the Ben Roethlisbergers, the Joe Flacco's, the Andy Daltons of the world, and stop those receivers, that our chances of winning probably wasn't going to be very good.
But you mentioned, and you said you believe Myles Garrett was a generational player. But in order to win championships, you got to have that quarterback.
You're right, Shannon. There's no question about that. And again, it's all how you see it, as an organization. How much time are you going to take to make those choices and decisions? You said, when I look back at it now, do you wish you could change it? Probably so. But at the same time, when you're in it, it's definitely the best decision.
So how much input and vote did you have on this year's quarterback decision?
A ton. Baker Mayfield is the right guy, the right time for the Cleveland Browns.
So how close were you on Sam Darnold? Was it a hard choice?
Oh, no doubt it was. Yeah. I mean, both of those guys are going to be outstanding players. But when I evaluated Baker, when I saw his internal strength, his ability to get people to play above and beyond the way they play, and just his internal belief on that he has this will to win, and you combine that with his accuracy and arm talent and his performances in big games, and you knew that this guy had it.
And John Dorsey was there with you on that?
No doubt.
And was Jimmy Haslam with you on that? Because he attended the pro day that Sam put on here.
Yeah, he did. We were all, we went around. I thought that was one thing we did a great job of. We went around to go see all those guys personally and spend time with them and watch them work out and watch them.
Was Mr. Haslam leaning Darnold at that point? That's what was reported.
No, I don't. Again, I can't. Wherever that report came from, I did not know that. We made a decision as an organization collectively to take Baker Mayfield, and that was the right decision, no question.
Okay. So I have said this, as Shannon will attest many times on the show. I have always defended and supported you as an offensive mind, play caller, even as a head coach. But you lost me during the Hard Knocks episodes over the scene in which you called in Baker and Drew Stanton, and you informed Baker that he had won the backup job. And it seemed like from the start you were not giving him any chance to compete at all for the starting job with Tyrod. So can you background me on that? Can you explain how that all unfolded and why Baker didn't even get a chance from the start?
Absolutely. We made a commitment to Tyrod Taylor when we brought him in that he was going to be the starter. And I thought we needed to get him up and running in the offense. We had a new offensive coordinator, new system. And when you make that commitment in front of your football team and everybody else, you have to support that. If Baker Mayfield was going to become the starting quarterback, it was going to show itself out, over time. It wasn't about if he was with the first unit, the second unit, the third unit. The talent was going to show itself in time. And so I wasn't concerned about that. We had a football team, as you mentioned, that was coming off an 0-16 season. So they needed to know who the leader was. And the one thing I always do with my players, I'm very honest and upfront. So I brought those two guys in to be honest and upfront and tell them exactly.
Drew and Baker.
Yes,
Okay.
to tell them exactly how we were going to go about it. And I think that's what you do. I think all players want honesty from the head coach. They want to know the direction, exactly how it's going to go. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is how we're going to do it. And that's what that was about.
So I'm a Baker guy, and it just was a little offensive to me that you relegated him to having to sit before the cameras, and you informed him as the first overall pick. Congratulations, you've won the backup job over Drew Stanton, and it just seemed a little beneath him to have to sit through that, but he took it. And was it for the cameras that you would do that?
I don't think, sometimes, and I will take full responsibility for that. There's sometimes I can tell the cameras to be off. And it might have been a time where I wanted them off and there wasn't. There hasn't been any other mini scenes other than when we let players go, where there was those kind of conversations that were had.
Would you have liked to have the cameras off?
Oh, absolutely. You like to have it back because I don't want people, it's all optics at the end of the day. I'm going to do what I feel I need to do for a football team and be honest and upfront. And that's what I did. And it wasn't to put, Baker down or to put Drew down. It was to do what I felt was right for a football team and being honest and upfront.
And Baker didn't complain about it, I know of.
No, it's never been an issue at all.
You look at Tyrod, you could have won the first game against the Steelers, you missed a field goal. And then in New Orleans, you missed 2 field goals, 2 PATs, and then the robbery game in Oakland. So if you, let's just...
That was Baker, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But if at the first 2 games, let's just say you win both of those games. Are you sitting here today?
No question. I'm sitting here today because I didn't win enough football games. At the end of the day, that's what it is. And I have to respect the decision that the organization made. But you said it. We had games, and the one thing I regret is I wasn't able to get our team to finish those games in overtime and make the kicks or make sure that we made enough plays, offensively to put us in a better position so we would have a better record. And again, that's what happens in these situations.
So Hard Knocks has become a powerful vehicle, and it can be beneficial for a team or it can start to tear it apart from inside out. How threatened were you by the fact that you had 2 coordinators who have big personalities, and they were both former head coaches, and the cameras started to love both of them, maybe to a fault?
Not at all. I hired both of those guys.
You did?
I hired Todd and I hired Greg. And I don't think I never have been caught up in what people think or say. And again, like I said, that's the optics. I'm not a person that's weak or insecure by any stretch of the imaginations. If I was, I never would have put those guys on my staff to begin with. So I know who they are. But at the same time, I think sometimes, the audience seen certain clips of things that were going on. And so they thought, well, maybe there was never a conversation prior to, or this is the way it is, until you see the whole thing and was there to see how some of those conversations went. I think we would feel different about it.
But you mentioned in the article that you did with Mary Kay Cabot that you wanted to convince Jimmy Haslam to let you take over the play calling. But that's what you do, Hugh. If you look at some of the great offensive minds that are head coaches, Sean McVay, the Kyle Shanahan's, Andy Reid's, they're head coaches, but they also call plays. If you're so good at that, why would you relinquish that role?
Well, I think when you look back, when you're 1-15, 0-16, again, I came to Cleveland as one of the offensive play callers of the year. And I think that was hard. I wasn't able to get the offense up and going the way I wanted to. It doesn't matter why. When you look at it, I thought it was time, along with a conversation that we had within the organization, to move forward and make me more of the CEO type within the organization, coach the whole football team. I signed off on it. I hired a coordinator, and then I needed to allow him to do his job. I gave him total autonomy of the offense, and I watched. And I got to a point, just like you're saying, where I thought there were things that wasn't being corrected that I needed to fix in order to get this train rolling in the right direction. And that's where I was headed. And again, in hindsight, that's something, as you just mentioned, you don't want to do. I'd rather bet on myself in the future than bet on somebody else.
So, go ahead.
Good. But to follow that up, you mentioned you were 1-15, you were 0-16.
Yes.
You didn't have the quarterback or the skill position around him. So now you get that, and when you get this, now you give it up. You finally get the ingredients to make the dish the way you want it, and now you're going to turn that cooking over to someone else.
No doubt, and that's what I said. I can't fault anybody for that but myself. I made that choice and decision. And again, I like the personalities that I brought into the organization. I thought if we were going to change the narrative, we needed people who have been successful offensively and defensively. Again, people got tired of seeing what we were trying to make on offense. And I figured we needed a new strategy. I chose that, and I lost. At the end of the day, that's what it is. I didn't get it done.
So you began to have some issues with Todd Haley, but I'm going to hold that question for a moment so that we can take a quick break.
Quick break.
Mind you
Yes.
doing your
No,
job.
Hugh, thank you for being here. We will be back with more from Hugh next.
Thank you.
Forget about vacuuming for weeks. The new Roomba i7 Plus with Clean Base Automatic Dirt Disposal empties the Roomba bin for you, so dirt is off your hands. If it's not from iRobot, it's not a Roomba.
Whatever your big job is, come into the Ram Black Friday sales event and get a great deal on the truck with the best resale value in the industry. And find out for yourself why more people are switching to Ram trucks than ever before. Because of all the things you've built this year, some are sweeter than others. Great deals going on all month with the Ram Black Friday sales event.
Now get 1,000 Black Friday bonus cash for an average $10,000 in total values on the all-new 2019 Ram 1500.
Today's Best Western rewards you in a flash. Get a free night bash with points that never expire in over 4,200 hotels worldwide. And get double rewards points on every stay. Book now at bestwestern.com.
At the Joseph A. Bank Veterans Day sale, save up to 60% store-wide. All executive suits, just $199. Our best-selling traveler dress shirts, $39. Plus, take an extra 50% off all clearance. From stitch to store, that's the bank way.
Thank you for the invitation.
No, our mode is much larger than this. Why did we find something again?
We're raiding the castle and needed a distraction.
Watch out for the moat! It's huge!
Bud Light, for the many, not the few.
For nearly 150 years, Continental has been making tires for the most demanding drivers. Tires you can count on, regardless of what the road throws at you. Inspiring total confidence in any condition. Everything we learn on the track, we put into your tires. So you know you can trust Continental no matter what you drive. Continental Tire. For what you do.
Smell that? It's crispy, juicy, deep-fried turkey with hints of pepper bacon, Swiss cheese, cranberry spread, and notes of, not burning down your house.
Arby's, we have the meat.
For sandwiches.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you'll earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day. Not just in airline purchases. Think about all the double miles you could be earning.
Holy moly, that's a lot of miles.
What's in your wallet?
Get louder. To get to the top, you gotta go all the way up. Don't miss the Audi 2018 MLS Cup playoff. Thursday on FS1. The Korean on FS1.
When you're treating exotic animals, you have to be ready for anything. Kid got me with his tusk. That's the way to start the day. She's stuck. I don't know how to get her out. Oh, listen. I wish all of our patients were naked. That feels so much better.
For Dr. K and her staff, saving lives is all in a day's work. Dr. K's Exotic Animal ER. New episode tomorrow at 9 on Nat Geo Wild.
FX. What does this symbol mean?
That I do know. You knew that. I did know that.
It's definitely bigger than the last one.
3, 2,
with Fox NFL kickoff, followed by Week 10, Sunday on Fox and the Fox Sports app. And I won't back down.
All right, welcome back to Undisputed. Former Browns coach Hugh Jackson still with us. And Skip, I'm going to let you pick up where you left off.
So when Jimmy Haslam decided to let you... So when Jimmy Haslam decided to let you... So when Jimmy Haslam decided to let you... decided to let you go and, a shock to me, Todd Haley go at the same time. He said we will not have discord within this organization. In your view, what caused the discord?
I don't think what Jimmy was saying was internal discord with the staff. I don't, again, you would have to ask Jimmy. He would have to answer that. But I think what Jimmy was really trying to convey is that, we got this young quarterback. He's not trending forward. He's not doing anything better. So let's do everything we can to put him in the best position to be successful. And when you look at it, again, as I said earlier, it's not a decision that I agree with when it came to me, but that's the decision the organization made, so I have to move on from it.
Was there any certain thing you clashed over? I think you wanted to start the undrafted free agent rookie at left tackle, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I think those decisions we made together. The issues that people think that happen are normal, everyday issues between coaches. You have disagreements all the time about the way you want to run a particular play or who's going to play in this particular situation. So I was a little shocked that, it came out as just internal discord. I mean, I had disagreements with Greg Williams about defense. I had disagreements with Amos Jones about special teams. I think anytime it's two strong personalities and it's about offense, something that Todd is really good at, that's what's built his reputation and myself. I mean, I had the job because I could coach offense. I think it gets blown out a little bit more than what it was. So I get it. That's what people think it is, but I don't think it was just internal discord.
How much did you go back to Oklahoma and try to get some of the things that Baker did from that playbook at Oklahoma? Did you sit down and talk to Lincoln Riley and says, okay, you did this, and he was very, very good at it? How much did you take from in Oklahoma OU playbook?
Shannon, I never did those things because in Cleveland, in our video department, we have everything Baker's done. Okay. And anytime you draft a guy, as you do all that extensive homework on him. So I had at my disposal every play that Baker had. So I went myself and picked out concepts that I thought that would fit him based on what he did. And I remember asking Baker, tell me a few things, write down a few things for me on paper, which he did, which I passed along to the staff, because I think that's what's important. We needed him to take ownership of it, to be the best he could be. So there's all kind of ways of doing this. That's just the way I chose to do it.
So during Hard Knocks, you recruited Des Bryant, and then all of a sudden, it went nowhere. What happened? He just signed with the Saints, by the way.
Congratulations to him. I mean, obviously, it's got to fit on both sides. And I think Des Bryant's going to go do great things for the Saints. But at that time where we were, it just wasn't the right fit.
So that was your choice, not his.
I think it was our choice. I think together, for what we needed at the time and where we were and where he was, it just didn't work out at that time.
And what happened with Josh Gordon, who Tom Brady has turned into a pretty good, it's Tom's favorite target now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what type of talent Josh Gordon is. And sometimes I think players need different sceneries, in order to be all they can be. Mm-hmm. Everything that this young man had dealt with had been in Cleveland. That's all he knew. So I think he's in a better place for him professionally, emotionally, mentally. And I think you're starting to see the real Josh Gordon, and I wish him well.
Was that your choice to cut ties with him?
We made a decision as an organization just to move forward.
Because of what happened on that Saturday when he had an appearance and then had a hamstring?
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously that's internal business, and I'll keep it at that. But we made a decision that we truly felt was best for the organization to move forward. And it was the right thing to do for the young man and for the organization.
You had waited patiently so long on Josh. You guys are stuck by him. Failed test, suspension. So to get to this point, after being in his corner for so long, it had to be hard to move on.
Yes, it was hard, but I think we as an organization made a decision that we felt that anything that we thought was going to stop us or hinder us from being the best version of an organization and football team that we could be, that we would move forward. And that's what we did.
How much do you think it's hurt Baker's development not to have Josh Gordon? Then he lost Higgins and Willies and various receivers. Has he been a little handicapped?
Absolutely. Anytime you lose some of the more talented players on your team, when you're playing, it's hard, especially when you're a rookie player. Obviously Jarvis Landry is doing some good things for him, and Jarvis is a tremendous competitor and player. But at the same time, you want to make sure your quarterback has all the options that he can have, So did it hurt a little bit? I'm sure it did, But Baker is such a competitor. He's going to look to find a way to overcome it. And I think he's learning in the National Football League. You do need all the guys at your disposal in order to have success.
How good can he be?
I think he's going to be really good. I really believe he is. I think he has all the characteristics that you need. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think the key's got to be him. Everything you do from here on in is about Baker Mayfield. How do you make him the best version of himself as a player? How do you create the environment, around the organization for him so that he can lead at all times? And then I think you will see all the characteristics that I mentioned earlier will show itself. I think he's going to be really good.
What does he have to, number one, correct in what he does?
I think the biggest thing for Baker that he's learning that these guys in the National Football League can run. When you take out outside the pocket, and they hit pretty hard. They're not just trying to be nice to you. And I think he's learning that there's a time to throw the ball away and there's a time to go make that special play. And I think once he masters that, I think the sky's the limit for him.
The arm talent is what you thought it would be?
It's better than what I thought. Yep. No doubt. He can throw the ball with anybody.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you for being here, Hugh. Really interesting, and we wish you the best with your next move.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for being here. All right, we'll be right back with more.
With Samuel Adams, we were always looking for the best hops.